Good afternoon. How are you, everybody? Um, as you can see, I'm making another video today. I had thought about taking a second day off because mentally I'm just not too well right now. I'm got a lot of drama going on at home, but I didn't really want to take more than one day off. And something I've been talking about for a while came to pass today, so I figured I had to at least talk about that. Good news is, the Supreme Court struck down the birthright citizenship challenge. So, the Orange Oath can't just take people's citizenships away willy-nilly. That's a win. There were a lot of defeats, though. Now he can fire heads of agencies that for 90 years the precedent has been we're supposed to remain some level of independence. That's gone. We'll see how that affects the future. And then, of course, trans people can't be in sports that they've transitioned to. Why do we care? I don't fucking know, but we care, apparently. Half these fat fucking Americans can't even play sports. But anyway, what do we do if the apathy and the self-centeredness of the American people is enough to defeat us? There's far too many people who think it's a proud point on their character that they'll only do anything for themselves and for their family. And they don't even hear themselves say this kind of thing, because if you're willing to sell out everyone around you to protect your own and yours, what happens when they ask you to sell out your family to keep yourself alive? Would you sink that low? How low is low enough? We're coming up on the 4th of July. And I'm not going to celebrate it. I don't give a fuck at all. But, we're in a circumstance here where, what does anybody stand for anymore, How can you say that you care about, freedom, liberty, and democracy if you won't lift a finger to do anything to protect it? It's like people don't think about all the things they've taken from their communities, taken from their country, taken from their states, their whole lives. And now that the same opportunities aren't going to get I'm a millennial. This shit fucked us the moment we became adults. We can't get a house. Cars are getting too expensive. And I think to myself, Zoomers are about to have it even worse. And then Gen Alpha is going to have it horrible. And all these apathetic, self-centered people. I'm not the type to give up hope. I have not given up hope. But it does become hard not to just be like, fuck everyone around me. I am only going to worry about mine. I am only going to get mine. Because, for me, I don't know. A consequence of growing up poor and always being around poor people is the fact that poor people also typically are the less educated of us. And it's hard for someone like me to find community because, one, I've grown up in red places my whole life. And just, I'm someone who wants to help people, I want to go to a soup kitchen and help feed people. I'm someone who wants to provide an area of community so people can come together and try and help their fellow community members thrive. I want to save people. I want to make sure people are okay, happy, and healthy. And it seems to me that is not a common thing in America. Maybe I've swallowed the propaganda, but I do believe it was once, at least to some extent. I see so many people Like, if you talk about what if we reach the eventuality where speaking out becomes literally a crime, and you're putting yourself in danger and you're putting your family in danger, and how so many people, that's enough to deter them from doing anything at all. And my thought is, what makes you so special? You know, everything anyone alive today has gotten to enjoy is off of the backs of sacrifices of people who came before them. What makes anyone alive today any more special than the people who did that to give them their luxuries? You know, like, they had families too. They risked their lives too. Many people died. Many people died to go fight the Nazis. Many people died to keep the Underground Railroad running so that escaped slaves could find a better life. And it seems to me that so many people alive today would have just condemned all those people who were involved in that, both trying to escape, trying to get a better life, and those who risked it all to make sure that would happen. And I know not everyone is like that. There's clearly a large enough amount of people who do want to do more and do want to help the people out around them. But I don't know that it's enough, you know. And it makes me fear that, something violent is inevitable, one way or another, whether it's our fault or not. I'm passing a truck with a Trump fucking sticker on it right now. I wish this guy was outside. The shit I would talk, you don't even believe. But yeah, I mean, those kinds of things are look, it's another fucking piece of shit Trump supporter. You see what I mean? I live in their fucking country. I am surrounded by these ghouls. But yeah, it's that kind of calculation that makes me think, like, we live at the peak moment in the history of this country of selfishness, of people who, you know, they'll reap the benefits of everyone in history that have sacrificed to give them, but they won't make that in turn for the next generation. And it's a three-way battle, because it's a battle won by those who are willing to make sacrifices for the greater good. It's the battle, the second side being those who are actively selfish and trying to take and take and take. But then there's also the battle of people who just want to get fat off their own fucking selfishness. And so what do? Now, I always have hope. I think the evidence of human history is that we've constantly improved. I've said this before on a previous video, but it also does seem to be the case that our society experiences frequent moments of backsliding. And, well, I know it won't last. It seems to me that no matter what kind of bad thing happens, eventually we overcome those issues. But sometimes that happens violently. Sometimes a lot of suffering occurs. And I know there's not really anything that we can do about that. That just is what it is. But it doesn't make one think any less, excuse me, about the suffering, about the bad things that happen, about how much and how many people are lost in the annals of history, and there's just nothing we can do about it. Sorry if I seem a little dreary. I'm still not in a good mood today. I get impatient, you know. I'm someone who's 33 years old. If I manage to make it to a full, long life, I could end up being on Earth another 50 years. And I think to myself, this isn't a fairy tale. This story could end badly. This could become a dystopian authoritarian nightmare. And if I somehow survive, I gotta live through that. Which is how I know I'm not gonna survive. Because I'm not a slave. I'm not gonna live in servitude to a tyrant. I would rather try and poke lead in his chest and die in that effort than live as a slave, Give me liberty or give me death. And it's crazy to me at my age, realizing how many people just repeated these slogans, repeated these lines, talked about the things they cared about. But now that push comes to shove, it was all just words. It does make me think sometimes that I should leave where I live, Go someplace, a more enlightened part of the world. But then I remember, I'm fucking poor. That's not happening. And I wouldn't leave my country anyway, I was born here. This is my land just as much as it is anyone else's land who's here. And I'm willing to fight for it. And if someone comes along and tells me that they're going to take my rights away, they're going to do anything to fuck up the future for me or my kids, well, then I'll bury him for it. I will put my life on the line just as willing as I am to shed blood for what's right. Because sometimes that has to be done. The Founding Fathers would tell us that. They shed blood to do what was right. So, I think that's about all I've got today. It's not the happiest of conversations, but not every one of these videos is going to be in a more positive slant. In fact, by my estimation, a lot of them aren't going to be in a positive slant. So, it's pretty hot. I think I'm going to go inside, eat some dinner, yada, yada, yada. You all take care of yourselves and be safe.